Reef DVM's coming at you from the farm here over Thanksgiving. It's how we smoke our turkeys. You know, everybody does it different, and I'm real fortunate to have a brother-in-law who is a really, really good smoker, and he's taught me well. So I'm going to take this turkey. It's about a 14 pound. This is a young turkey. Some turkeys are older on the farm. This is a farm-to-farm young turkey. I'm going to mix it with some water, some salt, some garlic, a little black pepper, and Worcestershire and brown sugar. And I am going to soak this bird. I know a lot of people do dry rubs. That's fine. A lot of people do brines that are 6-hour and 8-hour brines. You can even do a 4-hour brine. Instead, I'm just going to thaw this bird out, which we did. It took us about, I think a day and a half. And I've got the legs tied up. And I've got the neck inside because I am going to do the neck too when I smoke it. And the giblets and stuff are out. And I'm going to make a brine for this. It's got several gallons of water in it, and I'm using one of these big aluminum turkey fryers. So when you fry a turkey in peanut oil, this is what I would use. But it works really good for doing the brine too. It's tall enough and deep enough that you can put, probably 2.5 gallons of water in with a lot of brine, and then fill your bird up. Now notice the cavity here isn't filled up yet. So make sure that you pour water back in over the top of this and get it stirred up good and get it into the cavity. The reason you want the brine in the situation of smoking like what we're going to do is we're going to try and do like a 7 to 8 hour smoke. And when you do that long duration, especially in the winter in Minnesota, the air is very dry out here and the heat's going to be dry. And I just don't want to dry out my bird. So it's very important. We'll brine this bird from Monday night until Wednesday, and then we'll smoke it up. So it's about 11:45. We've got the lump wood, which is hickory, in here going right now. And no, I'm not going to smoke with that. I'm going to use hickory logs. A lot of people use apple. Go ahead and use apple, folks. I like the hickory flavor. I just do. So I've got this thing going pretty good with the coals right now. It's lump charcoal and it's hickory. And what I'm going to do is shut my dampers about halfway. The machine is getting nice and dry. This is the big Lang smoker. And I'm going to put my bird in it. And when I put my bird in it, the first thing that I kind of like to do is get it situated in the middle. And I'm going to use the middle rack. And you can see the neck is in it and my legs are still tied. And then once I get it situated, I'm going to basically tie my wings up. Now, some people don't tie the wings. You're certainly welcome to put aluminum foil over the top of this, and it'll take you a little bit more time to get the smoke flavor in, but it'll give you a nicer skin if you really want to eat the skin. And certainly you're welcome to baste it and butter it and all that stuff too, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to tie up my wings nice and tight. I'm not worried about the skin. It's going to let it get that hard, crispy skin. And I'm going to have a real nice moist bird inside. And when I smoke, because I'm only going up to about 165, my dark meat isn't going to look like oven dark, but it is going to look, it might look what some people call a little bit more pink colored, but it is cooked all the way through. It's just not going to get that, 300, 325, or 350 look, because I'm probably not going to crack much over 220, 225 degrees over the next 8 hours or so. Once I get this thing the way I want it in here and situated, I'm going to get my thermometers in. Now, I'm using 2 different types of tips, and the reason is because I'm testing out the tips of the probes, okay? I love my Thermo Pro. You can see my review on it, but I'm going to use 2 Amazon tips on it, and I'm going to use 2 regular tips on it. I just want to see how accurate they are. I always keep 1 tip also just in the middle, elevated off the grate, just so that I can see the temperature of the machine from inside the house. This thing's got 4 thermostats or 4 thermometers on the outside of it, but I don't like to always walk out. I'm going to take my brine solution and I'm going to fill a tray and I'm going to stick it underneath the bird. Now you could put an empty tray under the bird to catch drippings if you'd like. Go right ahead. I'm not worried about the drippings, and I want moisture. So as this thing gets hot, I want this to moist up the air inside this smoker. So I am going to leave this right underneath the bird. I'm going to let it get hot, and I'm going to let it, add some moisture to the chamber. It's about 25 degrees outside, a little bit of a wind. Smoker's going to have to work pretty much most of the day. So you can see here by the numbers, the deeper part of the bird's at 129. The lesser ones are at 140. It's been going here for about 4 or 5 hours. It's looking really good. I know it's getting dark, but remember it gets dark here around 4:30. It just looks wonderful in there. Just keep smoking away is what I'm doing. And I'm using hickory logs. I can show you how we're putting the wood in and stuff. So again, we have the coals. Oh, this is the 214. This is the temperature of the smoker, and this other probe is at 126. It's in another big part of that breast up in the inside of that bird. She's just going to open it up. You can see the coals from all the wood that's already been burned, and she's going to add a couple more logs. I got my logs cut down to about 12 inches. That works really good for me, and I'm just throwing hickory logs in. Now, I got branches too from a couple trees that we cut of hickory on the property, so I'm going to put those in also and just smoke them up. They're a tish more wet, which is kind of nice because then they really smoke. As you can see, this is the temperature in the smoker, and now it's about 20 to 7. We are just about done. It's been about a 7-hour smoke. I'm going to take it out here at about 7 o'clock. My flue is wide open. I'm still kicking heat right through this thing. It's now about 7 o'clock. I'm going to take this thing out. I'm going to let it rest for about 10-15 minutes in the house. And boy, we're going to say grace and we're going to cut this bird up and eat it. So this is kind of the first look of it for you guys probably since I've done it. See how dark and brown that skin gets? Now again, you can butter that. You can do so many things with it. Never mind the little piece of wood there with the probe on it. Again, I do that all the time just so I can see the temperature inside the machine without having to come out and look at those temperature gauges on the Lang. People ask me how much wood do I put in. Well, once I get a good fire, I'm putting probably a stick of hickory in about every 20 minutes, maybe every 25, and that does really well for me. I'm going to transfer this to the pan that's nice and hot from underneath after I dump the liquid out of it. I'm heading right into the house. For the sake of the video, I'll cut it here on the counter just so you can see some of the color of it. Then I'm going to say prayers with the family. We're going to put it over on the table, and then we're going to just dive right into this beast. It's just butter soft. It's very juicy. Again, to me, the skin, not worth it, so I'm not worried about the skin. But to some people, they got to have skin. You might want to tin foil it about halfway through or partway through to see if you can keep that skin from getting so crispy. But look at this, folks. Just cuts easy. It's beautiful. It's light. Oh, it's moist. Get it on the table here after prayers and get it cut up for the kids and get it served out. It's delicious this way, folks. It just falls apart. Going to have it obviously with some potatoes and some salads and just really have a beautiful dinner with my family here on the farm. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys have some fun smoking a turkey on your end of the world too. Thank you, and please like and subscribe and follow us on social media, and we'll keep putting out great videos like this.